Oh, yeah. Let's have tea. Then we go to corruption. Chris Dodd got sweetheart deals from Countrywide. Remember, he was on the banking committees that helped create the housing collapse. Charlie Rangel skipped out on millions in taxes. He's the guy supposed to write the taxes, and the guy who's enforcing the tax code through the IRS, Tim Geithner, yeah, he couldn't figure out TurboTax. So we got the corruption thing. Even more corruption. Oh, and how about the trip to Copenhagen? 2 nights and a hotel room. Cost $4,406 per person. You try to spend $2,200 on one hotel room in one night. What kind of gold-plated 3,000 thread count sheets are you sleeping on, Jack? Is this what you in Washington call belt tightening during the tough economic times? Then you have William J. Jefferson, bribery. Americans were told that the stimulus bill needed right away, otherwise we're in danger, the whole thing can collapse. You remember that? A year later, how much have they spent of the stimulus package? How much have they spent? 1/3. Why? What are you doing with the extra 2/3? I told you weeks ago, the money is not meant to help anything, no jobs, nothing. It's going to help Democrats get reelected. Mark my words, look it up, 1934. It's a FDR trick. It's a DNC slush fund. They're about to rate it for the upcoming elections. And if it was really about jobs in the economy, they would have spent it by now. Oh, by the way, unemployment, because remember, we all have to fix the jobs. Unemployment number, he lost 4 million. 4 million jobs in his first. George Bush lost 3 in his last. This guy lost 4 million, and unemployment is 10%. It's great. So the Democrats have given us what? Really, the same thing, just more of it, right? And now the GOP is coming out of the woodwork. They're saying, remember us? We love small government. Really? Really? You think? Remember you. This is what you want. These are the things you're trying to get fixed. And here are the choices. We've seen them. Small government and not so small government. Global warming, they're both going global warming. Global warming ranks dead last among the issues Americans care about. The climate bill, one of the most expensive pieces of legislation in the history of planet Earth. The way to pay for it? Green jobs. Spain's trying the green job thing. They now have 19.5% unemployment. For every green job created, Spain loses 2 other jobs. Doesn't matter. We're still headed there. And some of these guys will actually help. Let me show you what I showed you at the very beginning. Small government. Right? Republicans are small. Democrats are big. See, the problem is we don't have enough regulation. We need bigger, stronger government. No. The problem is we need a smaller government. Let me show you something quite amazing. They're exactly the same. Doesn't matter. It's the same. That's why you don't need something that curves right or curves left. No. You need to be an arrow. You see, the founders actually addressed all of these issues. All of them. We don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We don't have to. None of it. They have the system. It's set up. It works. We just haven't tried it for about 100 years. It's time to ask, what would the founders do? You remember those little bracelets, WWJD? How about WWFD? What would the founders do? On debt? Debt and spending? What do you say to this? This is Thomas Jefferson. We shall consider ourselves unauthorized to saddle posterity with our debts and morally bound to pay them ourselves. So in other words, you're going to pass it. Would you ever go and buy a car and then 20 years from now pass that car debt on to your children? Of course not. That's what we're doing. What do you say we point to the Constitution? On national security, I was just reading a book last night about Valley Forge, and Congress was so out of control and things were going poorly. And you know what Congress did to George Washington? They gave him the war powers. They said, yeah, you know what? You just go fight it. They declare war and then let the generals fight it. What do you say? Fight to win a declared war. On corruption, George Washington again said, we're a nation of laws and not of men. You get caught with bribe money in the freezer, jail. This isn't supposed to be some get-out-of-jail-free card. In fact, you're not even supposed to have a full-time gig in Washington. Salaries were supposed to be low. Today, if you work for the federal government, the average salary of the federal employee, this is mind-boggling to me. The average salary is $71,206. $71,000. How much is your salary if you don't work for the federal government? $40,000. How's that? They work for you. You are paying them this, and that doesn't even count all the six-figure jobs the government, that's actually increasing. And the people in Washington, they make I believe it's $179,000 a year. Working for you. We're paying them that. Our founders also said the time should be limited in office. But they didn't just preach it, they did it. People begged Washington to stay on as president. No, he stepped down. He said, I hope that others will learn from my example. Well, gee, they sure have. Charlie Rangel's been in office for 40 years now. What do you think we have all these problems for? Energy, global warming? Well, that sounds like science, doesn't it? Well, if we were going to just let the Constitution and common sense point the direction, we'd let the numbers speak for themselves. We'd start to use common sense. You know the solutions, America. We've tried the game back and forth. One of these parties has to get out of the game. One of these parties needs to step up and say, I get it. I'm no longer a progressive American party. Find the Constitution. It'll point to the founders. It's not the direction the parties are going. When they see things aren't working, they'll say, oh, we'll do it our way. That's what they're saying now. We'll do it our way. We'll change the system entirely. If you don't think they'll do it, you're mistaken. Because there was a nasty little quote that I read this weekend. Shows exactly how they're going to do it. They can't get it done through Congress? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll show you exactly what it looks like when they do it their way. Next.